Jameson Williams out for 2 weeks with the suspension. Who do you think needs to step up? Because there are some rumbles out there. Lions fans clamoring for Cooper Kupp. Not going to fucking happen.
No.
I would put my future child's inheritance, which is like $20, on the Detroit Lions to not trade for Cooper Kupp. That's not going to happen. J-Mo's only gone for 2 weeks. They'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be good. We talked about this a little bit on Monday, but like my sole confidence relies in a guy that a lot of people think that I hate, and it's Jared Goff. We talked about today with Dose of Dion over on the LNU stuff. Like, he is my utmost confidence because year 3 of this thing, and it's high octane offense, by the way. He's got the keys to a fucking Ferrari, and he knows how to handle that bitch. Yeah, he knows where all his guys are going to be, where all his landmarks are, in situations of rest. Even if you're a new guy in JMO's spot, I guess there might be a little bit of timing thing because JMO's a lot more faster than other human beings. Mm-hmm. But JMO also had to work on that time. He had to slow himself down to actually run these routes. I remember Amon-Ra talking about that. I remember JMO himself talking about that. So it's very much a timing offense. If you're in that spot and you've been in the offense long enough, which we have veterans now, Tim Patrick, Allen Robinson, veteran, you know what I'm saying? Like I have confidence Jared Goff is going to get those guys the ball when he needs to. Beyond that, he has chemistry with Khalif Raymond at this point. We know who his son God is. I mean, he's a fucking son God. All-pro wide receiver, another guy all-pro, and Sam Laporta. I just think it's going to be a collection of guys. I don't think anybody can solely replace Jameson Williams because not everybody can do what Jameson Williams does.
Yeah. Cartier in the Woodward Sports Chat says, I wouldn't be mad if we got Kupp. I would be mad if we got Kupp.
I'd be furious.
Honestly, I would be
pissed.
extremely mad if we got Kupp.
I would throw something.
If we use any assets to get something that's not an edge rusher, I would be mad. But they're not going to happen, so don't even got to worry about it. I saw someone in the chat, Xavier D said Leaf was running his route Sunday. We did see Khalif Raymond get a touchdown on one of those Jameson Williams over routes where he's coming across the middle of the field, makes a move, gets the ball, catch and run for the rest of it. So look out for him to fulfill some of those roles. But for me, maybe not like running his routes or being in his spot or running his plays, but I expect Tim Patrick to have a big role in this offense in the next 2 weeks. We saw the confidence already being established with Jared Goff in a couple games. He's been a contributor already for victories for this Detroit Lions team this year. He's been in that role before of a guy who has to be relied on in an offense. So I expect Tim Patrick to be a guy that you see his usage step up a little bit, maybe not getting 7 targets or anything like that, but instead of 3 targets, maybe he gets 5. Maybe he makes another catch. Maybe they go deeper shots to Tim Patrick down the sideline instead of what you would hit Jameson Williams with. But we did see Khalif get one of those long drag routes across the middle. Yeah. We saw them take a deep shot to Khalif Raymond in that game as well. That was open. If Jared Goff would have put a better ball on him, it would have been a touchdown. No shots, just saying what happened.
Yeah.
And
Jared Goff hater, we get it.
Yeah, I know. But Tim Patrick, I think, is a guy that could use a little more boosted workload. He's proven that he can make it happen, and him and Goff have been on the same page so far.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jameson Williams was on the field when Khalif Raymond scored that touchdown. He was on the far end of it, but again, there's no one singular person who's going to fill in the shoes of Jameson Williams. No. It's going to be death by 1,000 cuts. That's just going to be the approach. We have that type of offense. And that's what, Ben Johnson, to begin, we were worried about Sam Laporta. We were worried about, these are guys we said had like slow starts. And that really wasn't the case. There's just so many weapons they could be utilized on this offense that it's going to be somewhat different every week. And guess what? Next week, it's not going to be Jameson Williams. He's going to be the odd man out. Yes. And we're still able to operate that way because we have so many other guys. Even guys like Khalif Raymond who don't typically see a lot of snaps or you don't really think of when you think about the high-octane Detroit Lions offense, is still getting in the team or getting snaps and being productive. So it's not who's going to replace them. It's just who, everyone's going to have to take their fair share. And I think Tim Patrick probably is that guy, just in terms of who gets more. Nah, probably Sam Laporta this one.
And also, I look at it like people have said that Sam Laporta, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, they're going to get more involved in this offense for sure. But the middle of the field is going to be a little tighter now. Without the threat of Jameson Williams, without that speed on the field, the safeties are going to be in a little bit more. So that middle of the field, while they'll still get their work done, it's going to be a little bit more congested. So those shots down the sidelines are going to be open. I don't expect them to take these shots against the Titans because they're not going to have to. They can just run the ball against the Titans and win. But against Green Bay, if those safeties are creeping in a little bit, you take a shot down the sideline to Tim Patrick. That's a guy who can go up and get a ball. And those shots are gonna be more available now that Jamison Williams isn't in this offense because they're gonna be more focused on stopping the run and stopping the middle of the field passing attack.
Yeah, just like a little bit of like dive I did of this Titans defense as well. Like their linebackers have been like the worst coverage linebackers in the league so far. Like quite literally the worst coverage linebackers in the league. And they're also just traded one away in Ernest Jones to the Seattle Seahawks. That's why for me, if like a particular name is going to see more snaps, probably Sam Laporta in this one. The Titans, by the way, ranked number 1 against the run.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I guess it's not that crazy. They got the Sweat and Simmons in there.
Yeah.
At a clog some
They got
holes.
a pretty good defensive line.
They do. But we'll be fine either way. I'm not really chipping off of like, again, Jared Goff. Is he still the quarterback of this team?
Jared Goff is still the quarterback for this team the last time I
Ben
checked.
Johnson still calling plays?
As of 6:05 on Thursday, yes.
Fuck it, we ball.
Fuck it, we ball.
We are Gucci. Nick?
Are you guys concerned at all about going up against one of the best safeties in the league without a Jamison Williams to hold him back?
No.
That's against a Xavier McKinney?
No.
For the Packers?
No.
Okay. Because that's the first thing my mind went to. Because he gets to,
Okay, because I thought you were talking about the Titans.
No, he doesn't have to be as far back, on these routes for J-Mo because he's not in this game. You don't put that, oh shit, his speed, that fear into that safety room the way you would with J-Mo out there. That's what concerns me. I'm not worried about the Titans at all. And I do think we can beat the Packers without J-Mo. I just think it's harder without him on the field because one of their best players, it specifically impacts him.
Well,
That's
yeah,
the
it's
game
definitely
where-
harder. Like he is one of, if not your best playmakers. It's going to be harder to win games against good teams without one of your top playmakers. But I still have the faith in them to do it. I still have the faith in them to go over there and to methodically move the ball up and down the field against the Green Bay defense and win the game. It is going to be harder, but suck it up, Buttercup. Nothing we can do about it now.
Yeah, that's the one that hurts, just because it could end up being that, especially if you don't address the edge. And again, I'm not like pressing for it to be addressed immediately or sooner than later at all. But like, if it's not addressed by then, talking about the edge position, then that's one where that might suck because that could end up being like a shootout. I don't know that like we're gonna have the fortunes to be able to run the ball methodically down the field, just because we may be fucking just let me in and shoot out. But we'll see. Xavier McKinney, though, I do like him to be distracted by Jamison Williams, But I think I said Jared Goff, even in that situation, unless Xavier's baiting him into something, I have confidence JG's going to get the ball to whoever is open, regardless.
I'm way more worried about not having any edge rushing help than not having Jamison Williams against the Packers. Way more worried about that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it all goes like hand in hand.
Yeah, that's exactly. When you talk about people stepping up, and you guys have mentioned a lot of names here, I think you have to go back to the All-Pro, Sam Laporta, 2.8 targets per game this season. What are we doing, Jared? Obviously we have the number 1 offense, so that's obviously what we're doing here. But without Jamison Williams, I expect that to get up to a 6 or 7 targets per game without Jamison Williams in these next 2 games. Let your second-year All-Pro rookie from last year, obviously, let him get out and shine, gain some confidence moving forward. So when J-Mo comes back, you can't stop this offense no matter what, but it's just going to be even that much more dangerous.
I'm with you on that. That's specifically this game for damn sure Sam Laporta, just because of the matchup. And then, you look at like last year when J-Mo wasn't really a strong part of the offense. Who was getting that rest of those looks? It was Sam Laporta, and he was an All-Pro with that. So it's not like he can't step up and fill those shoes. And it's not like this offense won't be a top 5 one in the absence of Jamison Williams. It absolutely will be. It just the division one's kind of where you want it.
I agree. Chris, who do you need to step up?
Yeah, I need it to be Sam Laporta, and that's what I said earlier. Is I know that he's not running the same routes that Jamison Williams is, but we all know the caliber of player that he can be, the caliber receiver that he can be in that tight end slot. And I need to see it from him. And I don't think that the reason he's not doing the numbers he was last year is because of anything on his part. I think it's just the offense moving and shifting towards J-Mo. But you know what? J-Mo was suspended for the first 6 games of last season.
Yep.
And Sam Laporta had some damn good games in that. So I'm ultra confident that Sam Laporta can fill into this role, that that they didn't forget those plays that are in the playbook.
Forget those
they
plays.
have what they need to get it done. So I'm good with it. I think he's the guy to look for.
I like it. We got a lot of options, a lot of mouths to feed, even without Jameson Williams, unfortunately, for 2 games here because of the suspension due to violating the NFL's performance enhancing substances list. Not drugs, performance enhancing substances.